Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. That's what we do as preppers, correct? I hope so. We prepare for the worst. And I hope you hope for the best, because that's part of that positive mental mindset. They'll help you get through any situation. Negative situations, positive situations, dynamic situations where you got to think quickly and effectively. All those kind of things. So we do prepare for the worst. Yes, WRL, without rule of law, SHTF, zombie apocalypse, all these things. Yes, but we do it out of peace of mind, not out of fear. Remember that. Don't fear. Trust in Him and do your part. That's all you can do. So, what should we be doing now? We should continue preparing. We should be getting more food, more water. Those are key. Very key elements. We are also in fall, approaching winter. So, blankets, alternative heat sources in case we lose power. What about if you have to bug out? What sources of heat do you have at your bug out location? Do you have one of those little guide camp stoves? You can get those little guide camp stoves that you can just assemble on site. They make guide tents that they can go in. You can have a tent with a camp stove. Much less expensive than having a building on site at your bug out location, especially if it's a site where you don't necessarily want to leave things like that. You can bring that with you, or you can have that buried in some kind of container so that when you get there, you dig it up, you put it up, and you got an alternate source of heat and shelter. Very important. We got to think about a lot of things as preppers. But the first thing is, though, what I start off that saying is you have to have a bug out location to be able to do that. And that's very important. Have a bug out location, alternate routes to it. There's a lot to it. I've done a lot of videos about bugging out, bug out locations, security and routes, stuff like that. Those security videos are all on Patreon now, though. Check out the link in the description below. Patreon is $1 a month, hundreds of videos. But the main thing we need to be doing right now, I think, is stockpiling food to prepare for the worst, or bad things of a lesser extent. It doesn't have to be the end of the world, doesn't have to be the zombie apocalypse. Could be you losing your job, something like that. Okay, so what is one way to do it? One way is to go to a restaurant supply store or Walmart, Kroger, Costco, wherever, buy big bags of beans and rice, stuff like that, seasonings, canned meats, canned veggies, canned fruit, all those kind of things. Yes, that's one way to do it, and I highly advocate doing that. You can also get on and order those emergency ration bars and MREs and stuff like that. It's another great way to do it. So what's another great way to do it? Another great way to do it is go to preparewithap.com. And it is all foods from My Patriot Supply in buckets, 25-year shelf-stable, yummy food, good meals. We prep it, we use it, we love it. And you get 25% off discount if you go through my site for My Patriot Supply. It is good food, and it will last a long time. It's stored properly. Their calories also, I like their calories. They have more calories than a lot of those kits do. Some of them I've seen only have like 1,400 calories a day. Some are 1,250 calories a day. I had a friend of mine call me up that lives in Wyoming, and they want to add to their preps the other day. She was at Costco, and she asked about the two options they had there, Mountain House and some other one. And I said, well, do the math yourself. Look at the caloric values and tell yourself, is that 2,000 calories a day? No, neither one of them were. I'm telling you, they were significantly less. So you can go through my site. I mean, I get a small percentage, and yes, I earn money from it. I'll be straight up with you. But you get 25% off. It's cheaper than going to My Patriot Supply website themselves, which I highly advocate you do anyway because they have good products and stuff like that. You might as well save yourself some money, go through my site. But remember, that's just one way. I'm not saying go buy all your preps. It's not going to fill all your needs. I'm real with you here. I'm telling you legit, this is what it is. It is an option. It's part of your food storage plan. So check that out. Save some money through my my site. But also do the bulk goods. Bulk goods is where you're going to get a lot of calories for less money, for very, very, very inexpensive. but it takes a lot more water to cook up those kind of things. They need longer cooking time. This option, the buckets from My Patriot Supply, are much quicker, use much less water, and are already made meals. They're pre-made meals, which is really good. And what you can do with that, one way to stretch them, because they cost more than a bag of beans and rice, right? Yes. So what you can do is, if you're getting a meal out of that bucket that you get from my website, that I'm selling you, because you'll die if you don't buy stuff from my site. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, you grab a meal from that bucket, and then you grab some rice and beans you have cooked up. Mix it all up together so you get the good flavor, but you can stretch that meal. Instead of being one meal, you may stretch it into 3 or 4 meals. Or only use one of the pouches for your family. Mix it with other stuff. It's a great way to stretch your food. But have the different things. Have bulk dry goods, have canned goods, have emergency rations, and have the pre-made bucketed meals. It's part of a big preparedness plan that you gotta have variety also. Enough about that. I mean, really, if you go there, great. I advocate for it because I love their meals and because you can save 25% and I make a little bit on the side. Great. I feel much better about that than telling you about my Amazon storefront, which is also linked in the description below, which has a bunch of good stuff there, but it's Amazon. I don't really like Amazon, although they are what they are and we have to get some stuff through them sometimes. With my family, much more often than I would like. I would like to phase that out. So we are actively searching for other methods, other means to give other businesses that we actually like and agree with, give them our business. That's important to us, but unfortunately is what it is. Still, back to prepare for the worst, hope for the best. You got to have that positive mental attitude of hope. You cannot let go of hope. Hope is what drives us. Hope is what lets us know we're alive. Hope comes from knowing that our family can get through this. If we're not prepared at all, we don't have much hope. Hope goes right hand in hand with preparedness, with the peace of mind that preparedness gives us. Remember, all this stuff is our emergency fund, just like we have an emergency fund of cash. If something happens, we can be like, okay, something broke. So, okay, here, let's get it fixed. So it's not an emergency. Same thing. Say, whatever happens, grid goes down, or a tornado rips through, or something like that. If it takes all your preps with you, well, then, you had all your eggs in one basket, which isn't good either. You got to have them spread out. That's something I talk about in a lot of videos also. Don't keep all your eggs in one basket. Have enough at, various locations to survive for a decent period of time, depending on what your level of preparedness is. But yes, keep a positive mental mindset. And prepping really helps me do that because I look at all my preps and I know in the back of my mind that barring the worst possible situation, combination of circumstances, I'm good. I'm going to be able to feed my family. My kids will not starve. So it's big. So I encourage you guys to do the same thing. Stockpile food. It's important. There's a lot of stuff coming down. There's a lot of stuff on the way. You'll see. I bet a lot of you know. You're in the know. Keep your head on a swivel though. Be aware of what these things are and what the situations are. There's a lot to it. And we're already seeing shortages of some things. Like a lot of places around where I live, you can't buy toilet paper right now because the sheeple have gone after toilet paper again. Blows my mind. And bottled water is shorter in supply. That's another way to stockpile water, by the way. Buy bottled water. I recommend spring water, not filtered water, because all filtered water, processed water is whatever, sanitized water, whatever they want to call it. That's basically city water that they just ran through a filter. I mean, it's nasty. I wouldn't drink that. My well water is way better than anything you buy in the store. Maybe natural spring water is better, but make sure it's natural spring water, 100%, stuff like that. And even then, they probably still lie about it. But it is one way you can add water to your water storage. So, Prepare for the worst, hope for the best, stay positive, prep out of peace of mind, not out of fear. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.